Hello folks, I'm JDporkchop and welcome to another episode of Surviving Space Engineers. Today we are going to continue working on the base as usual, just chipping away at it. A couple of things I've done. The blast doors are in. Just hold on, while I talk about the other stuff I'll let them close up. So they do take quite a little while. Finger doors, close those. There we go. And I've also started work on a command center. Now all I've done is stuck the windows in. I just want to kind of work out where I wanted it, how I wanted it. I think this is going to be an interesting little build for today. Yeah. So there you go. Doors are closed. And this is mostly what we're going to be working on. But before we do, I couldn't help myself. I needed to put those little bits in. Before we do go and talk about that, I want to talk about this room here. This room here has sort of not really had any use up until now. It's sort of sat there as, and at one point it was going to be the control room. At another point I thought, oh, maybe it could be like an oxidization room or like a pressurizing room or something. Or I don't know. I've come up with all sorts of silly ideas. What was I going to do? I was going to open those doors back up. This is just a temporary battery and reactor, just to keep things powered. Nope, that one. Open. Is there anything else I've done since the last episode? No, not really. Just sort of chip away at the little bits here and there. These are quite expensive actually. This was a lot of resources. But that mining ship has 2 large cargo containers on it. So I just go and fill it up. Have a look in here. It's just mountains of stuff. Absolute mountains. All of these are full. Yeah, over so that'd be what, 1 million, almost 1 million iron. So these poor refineries just run constantly. Just never ending. So anyway, back to this. Yeah, this room here has never really had any use. Sort of, I've ummed and ahed about it. So what I've... Okay. So what I was deciding is this is going to be a arrivals lounge. So we're going to be building some quite large ships, things that are going to be bigger than this hangar door. So how am I going to dock the super large ships if they won't fit through there? So what I've decided is we're going to, from about here, we're going to have a tower coming up into the sky, and it's basically going to be a docking tower. I think I might have to cut that mountain back a little bit, that sort of hump, but that's easy enough. But it'll come up here, so there'll be a stairwell going down from the airlocks where where ships attach, going down and coming in to this room here. There'll also be another corridor that's going to come across and go to this command room. So the stairwell's probably going to come down this way, down, and then here turn into a stairwell going into this room here. And then this is going to be, from a sort of roleplay aspect, you're going to have ships coming and going, unloading their goods. Maybe they need to wait around to get refueled. I get real jumpy when new red things come up because we haven't got a combat ship. And if anything Reverie turns up, we're kind of screwed. So we're going to get on that soon as well. So we're going to put some chairs, maybe a TV screen, maybe like a little bar or a coffee stand or something in here. This wall is probably going to go back quite a bit and to enlarge this room out a little bit. Then one final little thing. This is the 25th episode, and to thank all you new people, and there is a few of you. We started this series with 18 subscribers, and I'm now almost at 60. So there's roughly 30 or 40 new people who have joined. If any of you would like to have your name dedicated to this station, please stick your name down in the comments. If you just put like an X or something, I'll just put your YouTube name. But if you type something out, I'll put that instead.
Energy critical.
Okay. And I just want to put that there as a thank you to all the people who've stuck with this for 25 episodes and are still enjoying it, are still putting comments, are still giving suggestions, because I enjoy making this. I enjoy talking to you guys and hearing your ideas, and I hope that, you know, this will easily go for another 25, probably more, much more than that, episodes. So a little thank you now, I think it is sort of, you know, a good thing. Anyway, I am going to start work now, instead of doing my usual and filling most of the episode with talking. We are going to start working on this. So, let me think. How are we going to do this today? Now, I was thinking, do I want to... Is it going to be a little bit over the top if I put blast doors for this window? Because this is going to be a pressurized room. And if a window gets broke by an attack, it'll depressurize the entire command center. And it's like the one room you don't want to be depressurized. So I was thinking, as I do, we could put some sort of either blast doors, or maybe put those force field blocks in the floor, and just have them like turn on when those blast doors get shut. A force field goes up. So if this does get depressurized, it's only like this little bit here that gets pretty depressurized. The rest of the room will be fine. I quite like that idea, so I think we might do that. Put them down here, and then I just have to think of a way of sort of disguising them into the building. Or we could just bring them back one, bring it back to here. Something like that. I don't know. Suggestions, as always, are welcome. Comments are always welcome. So if you have any ideas, things I could do differently, please feel free to share. But for now, let's just start working out this, and then I can work out where I want to put the corridor, and then I can work out where I want to put the stairwell. It's definitely going to sort of go along this way, so if we do that, and but it's not going to need that to be that big, because it's not really going to be functional. It's just going to be here as a, you know, roleplay aspect. So if we go 2, let's make it 3. Go 3 and make the door there. Then that means the corridor will be here. Okay, so let's just bring this back to over here. So we need to start digging all that out. It's going to be another big ton of fun. But yeah. Okay. Then another thing I'm going to have to work out where I'm going to put as well is the oxygen room. This building now is pressurized, but we don't have any oxygen generators, so it doesn't really matter. Not pressurized, but sealed, you know, so it's airtight. As is, well, when I've finished welding it up, the rest of this in there. So I think another thing we might try and squeeze in today is a oxygen room. Right, I'm going to start digging out some of this, and getting the... Now we've got a sort of rough outline. I definitely think... Oh, actually, before we cut away, let's just think about this. Do I want to make a window on the other side so that we can look down into this area to see ships that are wanting to leave and stuff? I think that's a good idea. So what I might do is just do a mirror. So what, 4 to that, then that. I need windows. It's the inverted diagonal by 1. So maybe it was just these normal. Oh yeah, no, you just flip them around. That's right, I remember. Cool. Like that. Okay. Alright, yeah, that looks about right. So, no, I need this. Whoops, wrong one. That. So I need one more window. That needs to go. So. Okay, perfect. I'm not going to have this just dangling like this, or sticking out like this. I'll build some sort of, I don't know, trying to sort of integrate it into the rest of the wall. So, I'll figure out something. I have it attached off the ceiling, something like that. I'll work something out. But I think at this point I don't really want to do any more on screen, so it's just going to be me welding. So I'm going to cut here, and before I cut, I'll just say again, if you want your name on the board in the Arrivals Lounge as a station dedication, then stick them in the comments below, and I will get it written up in a I'm probably going to do like 1 or 2 episodes today, maybe 3. So yeah, it'll be there at some point. Alright, I'll be back. Command center is operational. We did put the force fields in up the top here, and so I have now coated around the top half of this window with heavy armor blocks, or heavy armor slopes, just to give them a bit extra protection, because there's no point having an anti-decompression device unless it gets decompressed. So a little bit extra armor there, but if the window gets blown out, it shouldn't be a problem. And we go inside. We have just some control panels and stuff. What we'll end up doing is probably having like a bank of LCDs on this wall with like power output, I don't know, inventory, shields, how much uranium we have stored, whatever. Yeah, so all pretty good here, and then these two, I've got one there and one there. These turn the blast, the force field on. It feels very Star Trek, Next Generation, when they have to put the force fields up and something decompresses. So I quite like that. So yeah, all done. Like I say, remember, everything is a first pass. I very much like to sort of get a base built and then make it fancy after it's finished. So this will still get more work, as will everything else. We're just setting out the sort of outline of everything. So I've dug a fair chunk in here just by hand. I was going to use the mining ship, and I thought it's going to kind of make the hole too big. So we've got to about here, and then started digging down. The only thing is, I'm not entirely sure if we've gone far enough in, and I was thinking what we might do is set up a projector to project a tower going all the way up. Just this, what we have here, but just a load of blocks in a row, projected down the way and up the way, so we can sort of see where we're going to come out, so I don't go digging a hole to the top of my refineries or something ridiculous. So we might do that in a minute. But what I wanted to do first was go in here, figure out how we're going to do this, this room. So I think the first thing, I probably should have emptied out my inventory before we did this. Would have been smart. I've got a load of rocks in here, so I'll just get rid of those. Yup. Go. Oh, I didn't use up as much of my inventory as I thought it would. So, I think we're probably just going to take this whole wall out. I'll get the rest of it later on, but let's just put this bit out for now. Go. And to dig this. Now, how far back do we want to go? That's the next question. I want to, decorate this room to a degree. Have some seating areas, maybe a little coffees, or maybe like a coffee area, something like that. But I don't want to make it huge, otherwise it's just taking up space. Something that is really kind of just for roleplay purposes. So, I think if we go, maybe try and make this 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we go, it's the middle. Go here. 2. Let's just dig this out a bit more. So we need to go 2 more. That one. That one. And that there. That's going to be the back wall. Oh, wrong one. This one. By the way, for any people who are new to this game, and I don't think I do have any new people, but just in case I do, when you're using a drill, you can left click where you'll take a little tiny chunk out and it will create rocks. Or you can right click and you'll just take a huge big chunk out and it destroys it. So if you're wondering where all the rocks have gone, that's why. Which, you'd be surprised to know, I didn't actually know that for quite some time. I used to dig out things like this and just have mountains. Oh dear. Okay, I'm going to charge up and dig out all of this, and then we'll cut back in again. So I've not really finished, but kind of thought we'd pick up and do a little bit more on camera. I have now connected, so this comes through here. We have a little corridor, and this goes all the way up to here. This comes out of the control room. And the way I did this, about digging hundreds of tunnels and getting completely lost, is it's on a grid. The whole game is on a grid system. So if you work out that this here is here, then you just count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blah blah blah, and just count it out, and then you can work out roughly by building this. I kind of worked out right roughly here, or I think it was a couple more across. Directly above me is that. Just dug up, and there it was. So if you're ever digging, oh, a freighter. I wish we had a combat ship. Go beat that ship up. If you're ever wondering how to sort of do that, get your 2 bits to connect, that's how you do it. So, with us having that done, I think we'll dig up to the surface and, well, yeah, no, shall we do that? Yeah, let's dig up. There can't be that far to go, so we sort of pop out the top. Let's just make sure it's straight. Let's go across a little bit. Straight, a little bit, kind of. It doesn't really matter because this is going to be quite a large chamber that's going to drop down. So if it goes a bit squiggly, it's not a huge problem. I want to keep it reasonably neat though, because there was a comment from going way off this way. There was a comment from. Okay, yeah, now we're just sort of going all over the place. I might just stop the build. I have to build like a plumb line sort of thing. So let's think about this. There was a comment from a guy called Rodney Bailey, who I've mentioned on this channel at least once, if not more times. He's quite a regular poster. He's always giving me tips and helping me out. So one of the things he suggested was that for one of the corridors, if I wanted to keep the sort of rock effect on it, to put windows in on either side and then a light on the other side of the windows to sort of light the tunnel up, and then I'd still be able to pressurize the tunnel while still getting that rocky effect. Now I was originally going to do it with the tunnel down there that connects the living quarters with the what will now be the arrivals. Whoops, wrong one. But I think I'm going to do it with this tunnel here and some of the stairwell. But yeah, that's a good idea. I like that idea. This is not necessarily going to be where the wall is going to be. It is just a plumb line so that I stop going wiggly wiggly. So just keep going up. So let's up a little bit more. This is probably not the most exciting thing that I could have chose to do on camera, but oops. Okay. Keep going up. Yeah, so, you know, this is the thing, guys. If you have ideas, if you have suggestions for what you want to see done on the base, stick them in, because I will do it, unless it's a really rubbish idea. But, yeah, stick them in. I'll try and accommodate. Okay, so we are out. There is the top of the base. This is going to be the base of the tower. What's this? Cool. I really haven't even gone and bothered to map the outside of this, this asteroid yet. I really should get around to doing that. Right, so I'm not going to build this any higher than that. That's just a little marker. Because first I want to get the stairwell in. Once the stairwell's in, then we can sort of work out the boundaries of stuff. But we'll get this made a little bit bigger. And then we'll shoot back down. So we'll keep digging things out. But yeah, I mean, there's been all sorts of suggestions for stuff that we could do, and I think I've implemented almost all of them. There was a couple here and there that I've sort of gone, yeah, I see your point, but I don't like it like that. Whatever. But for the most part, people suggest stuff. Now, I'm the monkey with the camera. You're the guys that are watching, so if you want it done, I'll probably do it. Right. What are we thinking about? No, that's... Okay. So, how should we build this? I think we should probably build it from the bottom going up. Seems to make the most sense. So, let's just think about this a second. So, the corridor is going to come... Probably move this corridor a little bit more this way, actually. So let's do that. I might cut again. I know we've had a lot of cuts this episode, and I do try and keep it to a minimum, but this is going to take forever. This is me just digging around inside the asteroid. It's not very interesting. So I may just cut here, and I will be back when we have the base of stuff ready to go. So I have done a fair chunk of digging. Still lots more to do, but we are getting there. I think now I'm going to mark out where I want the tunnel to. Sorry, the stairwell. I was having to think about it being a stairwell, and to be honest, I think we may have to build a lift, because you think how high this tower is. Let's just get some of this put in. Sort of show you what I mean. This tower is huge. You know, it's gonna shoot off into the sky. But that's before we even exit the asteroid. We have this big thing. You know, this big shaft to climb up before you even get out of the asteroid, and then the tower itself is going to be quite high. So I think we're going to have to go with a lift of some form. And there's either two ways we can do it. We can do a piston lift, but I think that this is actually going to be too high for a piston lift. And I don't want to incur the wrath of Clang too much. And piston lifts are one of those things that just the physics engine as a hairy little fit at you whenever you do them. So I think there is a mod in my mind, I'm sure exists, that actually adds like a lift block that you can set in, and I think that would be a good addition. So I think what we'll do is we'll cut these back. Go. Cut that back, cut that back. What earth is that? Okay, it's a bit more. Just cut that back. So yeah, I think we'll be adding that. I still haven't added any more mods from the last time. I said I was going to add some more. I was going to add some more decoration ones, but I just haven't got around to that yet. But they will be added, and whenever I do update the mod pack, I will mention it in an episode, so that you can go check out the pack, which is in the description down below. Right, so that is, yeah. So that goes there. That goes there. So this should be the 5x5. Okay. So we just need to do some digging here. Okay. And that means we can use that thing we've already put up. So, it's just, that's where the door will be. That's going to be that wall. Just finish it off down here, and then we'll go up the top. If any of you have the lift mod pack already and you're using it, feel free to link it in the description, in the comments as well. But if I don't, you guys don't link it, I'll go and have a look for it. I just think that's going to be a better way of doing it than what's that? So that Mayday. That Mayday's been going on for like, I feel sorry for them. That Mayday's been going on for like the last 3 episodes. They've been asking for help. We know that if I go over there and help them, though, I'm just going to steal their ship. Okay, so that one there. Is that 5x5? Okay. So there we go. That is going to be the shaft. Sorry if I'm giving you guys motion sickness. Right, so there we go. This is going to be the shaft going up. 3x3, 5x5 on the outside. So let's think. What do we're going to have to dig all this out at some point, but I'm not going to do that now. I'll do that between episodes. In all honesty, I might take the mining ship out and just dig straight down with it. But this is one corner of the shaft. So let's just make sure I get it right. So it goes off that way and this way. So we can replicate down below, up here. Go. It's going to be that. Oh. Okay. This place is turning into a maze. Let's put some more on to build. Go. Right. Hold on. Oh, let's make sense of direction. This way out. Okie dokie. So that we need to basically dig this out all the way down, and this will have done it wrong. Had I done it wrong? Yeah, I had done it wrong. Okay. It had been done wrong. Right, what was I talking about? I tell you, I go off on such tandems. So yeah, this is gonna now go up, and then it's just sort of work out. Oh, gee. Tell you, I'm gonna give myself motion sickness at this rate. Go in the direction I want it to. That'll do. Right, so the idea being that. Tell you, we could put a solar array on the top as well. The only thing, right, is this is going to be one of the reasons we built inside the asteroid was because we didn't want to get shot. And now I'm building a huge big tower sticking out of the asteroid. Doesn't really make sense, does it? Hey, sort of cover it in turrets or something. Oops. Okay, so is that high enough? That's high enough. Right. So this is roughly going to be the height, and then what we'll be doing is sticking connectors. Just sort of. Obviously, we're going to make it look more sci-fi and cool than just a square or rectangular tower sticking up into the air. But for now, you get the idea. And then we'll have, yeah, 8 docking ports, one on each side. Or, instead of using these docking ports, what we could do is use... Now, where are they? That would be the... Let's try dock. See if it's... aha! We can use these things, which I've never used before, but they look quite intriguing. It's a mod where this bit connects to this bit, and you can walk through the middle of it. Apparently. I've never used it, so... not entirely sure how it works, but it's like how docks work in real life, like in, I don't know, the International Space Station or something. You have a tunnel that connects and you can walk through the middle of the tunnel. So we'd actually be able to walk through the airlock into the stairwell. So I quite like that idea, so we might play with that. I'm not sure. We still haven't even built the ship, although I think that might be the next episode, because I really have pushed my luck too far now. I'm expecting Reavers to start spawning anytime soon, and just come and trash everything, especially now we have a thing sticking up into space. So I think we're pretty much done here for today. I'm going to finish this off. I'm not going to do any of the inside of the tower. I'm going to dig out all the rock, build the 4 walls up to that level that we just were at, finish off this little corridor, and then in the next episode, or the next time we come back to this particular part of the build, we're going to turn this into a arrivals lounge seating area. Probably should put that back. And we are going to put either the lift or stairwell or whatever we decide to go with into that. And the 101 other jobs that are backing up we'll also get to. But for the next episode, I think we are going to be building a battle cruiser, and something roughly the same size, probably actually bigger than the Serenity. So we have something to dock onto that docking port. But as always, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please give it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Any ideas, any thoughts, please stick them in the comments, and I will see you in the next episode.